I'm Dave, and thanks for joining me for this bonus lesson of Communication 101. Now, this brief lesson is about communication being our greatest asset. Listen to what some very successful people say about that. Warren Buffett once said, "The number one asset in business is the ability to communicate." And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel." Now, I believe what they're saying, but that presents a problem for most people in the world. And number one in your guide tells us just what that problem is. The number one fear of people is the fear of public speaking. As a matter of fact, surveys say 54% of people say they fear it more than dying. Now, because of this irrational fear, most people don't think of improving their skills because they don't consider themselves public speakers. But listen to what Roger Love once said. All speaking is public speaking, whether it's to one person or to 1,000. So we all speak in public, but most people panic when they're asked to address groups or crowds of people. Number two in your guide states something to think about when it comes to that 54% I just mentioned. 54% of the world's population fears expressing their ideas and hopes and dreams to the world. Yet expressing these things to others is crucial to everybody's success. Being willing to improve your skills will give you the confidence to get out of that 54% and express your hopes, dreams, plans, and ideas to the world around you. And by default, you can become the person people go to when they need someone to speak up for them. And because people will depend on you to speak for them, your influence will rise, and then you can help them to live their hopes and dreams in a better way. In other words, you'll stand apart from the crowd. Jim Rohn once said, "Words do two major things. They provide food for the mind and create light for understanding and awareness." And he also said, "Effective communication is 20% what you know and 80% how you feel about what you know." So let's take a look at number three in your guide and what it says. Expressing your thoughts, ideas, and feelings to at least one person is the first step to fulfilling your dreams, aspirations, and goals. Expressing them to many people only increases your chances of success. Now, we live in a world full of people who want to thrive and pursue their dreams. But sadly, it appears that only a few get to and end up living in survival mode. Now, those who seem to be failing to achieve their dreams often imagine others who are as living on another plane of existence. And in a sense, they really are. I believe we can be set apart from the average humdrum of life. But first, we must realize that it's not the world that needs to change so we can thrive, but we must change. Now, like the people I quoted, improving our communication skills gives us a better chance of success. In your guide, look at number 4. As you grow in knowledge, abilities, and aspirations, increasing your communication abilities will set you apart from others with equal skills. Now, here's a prime example of better communication skills outweighing skill and experience. When Hillary Clinton was asked why she would be a better presidential candidate than Barack Obama, she said she had a lifetime of experience compared to him, but he could give a good speech. Well, we all know how that turned out, don't we? Good communication skills do make a difference. Now, not all of us are running for President of the United States. So let's reduce it to something that most of us have done before. Let's take a job interview, for example. If you were interviewing two people for the same position, and they both seem to have equal training and skills, wouldn't you be more likely to hire the one with more confidence and better communication skills? Well, I know I would, because that person would be able to better communicate with my clients, my customers, and the rest of my team. And here's another good reason to hire somebody willing to speak to groups of people. If I need someone on my team to communicate a message to multiple people, I want that person to be able to tell it to 10 people at once rather than telling it 10 different times to 10 different people. Speaking to groups of people requires confidence, and improving our skills gives us that confidence and allows us to help multiple people much more efficiently. In your guide, look at number 5. Better communication with family members, schoolmates, co-workers, and others in your community will increase your influence with them. That's because you'll be a person who adds value to them. Take a look at number 6 in your guide. When you can speak with confidence and poise, your influence increases with those who can make a difference in your life, as well as those that you care about. As Emerson said, speech is power, and it compels others to act. Now, in most cases, people afraid to speak up are more self-conscious than self-aware. So listen to what number 7 in your guide suggests. Being self-conscious reveals and reflects our fears, which is what hides our gifts and strengths. Being self-conscious is what keeps us down. Being self-conscious makes us afraid of our own greatness. Now, Marianne Williamson wrote a great poem, Our Deepest Fear, that tells us about this problem that most of us have. Improving our communication skills takes training and practice, but it's what gives us confidence. Now, in all things we do, we don't always rise to our expectations, but we do default to our lowest levels of training. Now, communication skills and training are no different. Look at number 8 in your guide. Training and coaching birth not only skills, but also the confidence that comes with those skills. Confidence is contagious and flows over into other areas of our life. A person who receives training to develop their skills becomes confident because they become more self-aware. Becoming more self-aware reveals our weaknesses that are hiding our strengths. But too often, we're afraid to admit we have weaknesses because we feel vulnerable when we do. I know you've seen others who might have great talent, but their flaws are evident. They're too proud to admit it, so they keep doing what they're doing and keep getting the same results and not improving. Now, too often, they won't listen to others when they give advice or coaching and just stay unaware of what's really holding them back. So in your guide, take a look at number 9. Remember, we can't fix what we're unaware of. If we have bad communication habits, we owe it to ourselves to identify them and correct them. And this is where good coaching comes in. An objective view from somebody who can help us as needed, because we struggle to be objective for ourselves. Now, your dreams for your life are important, and those dreams must be expressed to be realized. No one has ever achieved any significant dream without communicating it. So muster up the courage to go within and find and train your voice. It's your responsibility to find your own voice, to develop it, and share it with the world. Now, don't be like the 54% who are afraid to speak up in the world. So take a look at the last statement, number 10 in your guide. Be courageous and find your voice. Develop your communication skills and let the world hear that voice. And to do that, you must go within. Find your passion and your voice that's crying out to be heard by a world that needs it. I'm going to leave you with the Joseph Campbell quote, and you can decide if improving your communication skills is worth it for you and your dreams. The cave you fear to enter contains the treasure that you seek. Now, that cave is the entry to personal growth. When we first begin to explore who we are, we're usually afraid of the darkness that we know that we all have. But that darkness has to flee when we find the treasure of who we're meant to be and find what we're actually capable of accomplishing. Now, you're a gift to the world. Go within and find the real you and your voice. That's the gift. Get a good coach who will help you face your fears and doubts and find your best voice. A coach who will help you develop your greatest asset.